So take a look at this rascal. He's about to get everyone killed. In Dragon Age the Veilguard, the ending will be different based on what you've completed and how up to that point. If you love the consequences of Mass Effect 2's suicide mission, well, Veilguard has you and your team wading through insurmountable odds against two ancient blighted elven gods, so if your companions and your allies aren't ready, well... Now, I'm going to show you what a perfect ending looks like and then compare it to Renegade Rook here.
Yeah? Let's give it a go.
It goes without saying that if you don't want the game spoiled for you, well, bookmark this video and return after you finish the game, or drop me a like, then simply look back at your liked videos when you're ready, or send me some cash dollars and check your bank. Timestamps are below if you want to simply see how it pans out. Let's begin by first showing the journey of how we got to the end game, and then showing the outcome. So dip your face right in, and let's begin.
Got a Belgian dip.
So, enter our hero. I don't know how I'm gonna get through these scenes, man. So the idea is to avoid everything that could add power to the endgame, meaning never do anything that's optional, including talking to companions, side quests, and upgrading gear or factions. Only your companion's Hero of the Veilguard status, their side mission's completion, and the 6 factions' current power matters in the final mission. But it's better to be safe and never upgrade the caretaker as well. We're also forced to recruit Nev, who has a stupid hat and walks like she's being mocapped on a runway. Oh, and she's filled to the brim with cliches.
It's so quiet.
Too quiet.
To keep something out?
No, to keep something in.
So naturally I won't be sad when she gets murdered. Now here's the first choice. Do we save him or do we leave him?
No point arguing with a dead man.
We recruit Balara and are reminded to check on the team.
Yeah, should check how things are going.
Yeah, that's not happening, buddy. We recruit Lucanus, who is in one of the prettiest prisons I've ever seen, and I've seen a lot. So what's next?
I should see how the crows are doing.
Yeah, that's not happening. Though I have to say the hardest part of this run is just how many quest icons and notifications I had to ignore. No, wait. Is this Dorian the same Dorian from Inquisition? No, it can't be, right? What have they done to you? Naturally, it was only a matter of time before my nerd rage came out. I was enjoying smashing enemies as Renegade Rook, but then...
I married someone with good advice. You find Davrin, and we'll keep after the blight.
Oh, how sweet. Now you both have to die. We're then forced to meet and recruit Davrin, and that's when I realized... Fuck, Hassan. He isn't gonna die too, is he? Well, that thought quickly fades as I cleave through enemies and nerd rage out some more. We then face our first major choice. Do we support the Shadow Dragons and defend Docktown from a dragon attack, or defend the Crows and Treviso? What would do the most damage? I went with supporting the Shadow Dragons because poisoning the water supply of Treviso felt especially evil. We then had to fight a dragon and Lucanus becomes hardened. You'd think an assassin called the Demon of Varantium would have already been hardened, so suck it up, buddy. This response seemed appropriate for this particular Rook.
Stop acting like you're so much better than they are. Your bullshit ritual would have destroyed the world just as badly.
Next, we're forced to recruit Tash. Just look at that belligerent child face. And she even displays an unwillingness to use Emmerich's correct name, even after the game reminds us a lot of times to call people what they want to be called.
It's Emmerich, Tash. My name is Emmerich.
You're a bad person, Tash. You better do some push-ups. So yes, Emmerich's recruitment is next, and I show him that a rage demon can't defeat nerd rage. We meet the first warden, and Rook says what the title of this video should have been.
What an asshole. A lot of people are gonna die.
We then meet the Inquisitor and get a wolf statue, which will completely ignore the whole run. Who cares about the Dreadwolf's sad stories? We have people to kill. He even forces you to say you'll do what it takes, as the other options he completely dismisses until you select that one.
What will you do? Whatever it takes.
I wonder if this will come up at the end of the game. The timed quests have disappeared and we're now on to Weisser. We punch out the first warden because talking is for chumps. Evka jumps on the tentacle, which is Balara's job. She survives though, sadly, and the archdemon is defeated. Rook then heavily suggests we should check in with the team.
Emmerich right, though. Everyone on this team has some kind of unfinished business hanging over their heads.
But who gives a crap about their piddly problems? Solus then further emphasizes I should check in with the team and he can check between these nuts. Now to progress the game, I need to get to this quest. It's a story quest, yet I'm stuck behind a what should be optional conversation. There is no way around this unless there's a glitch that I haven't found. I restarted the game and tried using the crows over shadow dragons, still the same outcome. So I continue into it. It's a conversation about dresses, so I completely tune out. Then Lucana strongly suggests we aid our allies. Buddy, if the Dreadwolf couldn't convince me, what chance do you have? So that's 3 strong suggestions in one visit to the lighthouse. I'm even forced to do something in order for time to pass for the mainline missions to open up. So I choose to fight a champion of the crossroads to get a unique item. This doesn't grant anyone power, except me of course. So the strong suggestion to help my moron companions is successfully ignored. I'm also really struggling not to rank up factions, but I must resist. We're then required to do the start of Davrin's Gloom Howler questline. Sadly, I'll never recover the missing griffins. Rest in peace, you cuties. Up to this point, I've been ignoring the Caretaker's Workshop, but now there's a quest icon there, so I can't click on it even if I wanted to. We're forced to kill a naked lady for Lucanus, and he mentions,
Rook, you did not need to come with me on this.
Yes, we did. We were forced to come. Also, we were forced to tag along. We ignore more quests and leave to fight some dragons. This is possibly my favorite fight of the entire game. Viper shows up with enchanted ballista bolts. The Viper does. Quest over. Up to this point, we've had no interaction at all with companions and their insignificant problems. I didn't even hug the griffin like a psychopath. But we are now reminded that Tash is to be referred to as they, them, which is part of her journey of self-discovery side missions. Thankfully, no other companion side missions are mentioned, even if they need to do them without you. Murders, betrayal, big fights, all ignored, thankfully. But we are gently encouraged again to support our team and our ally factions, which are the Antivan Crows, Lords of Fortune, Mornwatch, Shadow Dragons, Veil Jumpers, and Grey Wardens. The game does look beautiful, just wow. We then have to rescue some, a chest. We then meet the Inquisitor and she tells me all about her steamy love affair with the Dreadwolf and how she'd get back with him. I'm trying to beat some gods, not beat them off. So now it's time to discuss the endgame with the team. We're told to shore up our allies' power and get finished on all side missions. But Balara dances a bit to the potential end of the world, so no, just no. So this is the point of no return. You can see it in their faces during the speech. These companions are not ready for what's to come.
But if we're going down, let's go down swinging. So let's stop the gods, whatever it takes.
Yeah, this is gonna go well. The first decision we need to make is who leads the distraction team, Harding or Davrin, which is like asking who dies first. I choose Harding because I don't want to orphan Asan just yet, and I have plans for him. Now it comes to who we choose to disable the ward. When there's tentacles involved, you know it has to be Balara, just come on. They even hinted at it in the first trailer. If they weren't suggesting the Asian girl gets tentacled, I don't know anything about the world. So Harding makes a sacrifice that you can't avoid even playing the game perfectly. Either Harding or Davrin seemingly die no matter how well you've played up to this point. They're stabbed by tentacles the way that every weeb wants to see their companion go. We're then put through the traumatic experience of reliving Varric's death. Yes, he actually died at the start and was never talking to you throughout the whole game. Replaying the game the first time, I noticed how none of the companions look at him or respond to him when he talks. So Varric, the only character I cared about, is now dead. The rest of you idiots have no chance. Except Manfred and Hassan, of course. Now is the second act, where all the choices matter. You can see I have the lowest power possible on all the factions, no upgrades, no quests, no hero of the Veilguard companions. This is it. The Suicide Mission 2.0. So let's put up the perfect run and compare it to what happens when you let the hate flow through you.
Thank you all for coming. If we don't stop Elgar'nan today, our world is either dead or blighted. So we keep fighting until the job is done. It's gonna be hard. There's no guarantee any of us will make it.
In the intro to the mission, you see the first point of difference is only because I chose Nev instead of Balara to get tentacled. Blasphemy, I know. Also, a nice little bonus is that their armor is different as, well, I took the time to actually upgrade them in the perfect run. Both runs look at the empty chair where Harding would have been.
We're with you, Rook.
Elgar'nan dies today.
Whatever it takes.
Strife. News?
Our scouts confirm Elgar'nan is inside the Archon's palace. There's a giant tendril of blight tethering it to the Divine's manor in Hightown.
Then that's our goal. Breach the city walls and get to that tendril. Emmerich, can we count on more support?
The Watchers, living and otherwise, will stand with us. Our fellow Watchers would be honored to assist.
Every remaining Grey Warden will be there too.
The Antivan crows are ready to pay their respects.
And the Lords of Fortune will be there. For gold and glory.
As will the Veil Jumpers. Someone's got to keep you out of trouble. The Veil Jumpers have been in this since the beginning, and will be there for the end.
Solus is our first target. Without his dagger, we can't kill Elgar'nan.
Our scouts last spotted him working with the Shadow Dragons in the western section of Hightown.
Okay, we go in through Hightown.
But Minrathous was built to hold off an army, even before Elgar'nan fortified it.
How? Minrathous was built to fight off an army, even before Elgar'nan reinforced the defenses.
Every gate will be guarded.
Worse than that. Our scouts reported that the Venatori sealed all the gates with those damn warding crystals.
Can the Veil Jumpers disable them?
Venatori magic won't be a problem. We've lost people, but we'll do what we can.
It's still likely to take time. You may need assistance or someone to protect you while you unravel the wards. It won't go quickly. You may need magical assistance or someone to protect you as you work.
What's funny is that Manfred still pops his head around Nev, even if she isn't there. Nice little detail of being a dwarf, the marker needs a bit more reach to place. Here's where the differences really start. When asked if the Veil Jumpers can handle taking down the wards, the Renegade Rook run has Strife saying they've taken losses, but they'll do what they can, whereas they're more confident in the perfect run. Here we assign who's best for the job. Someone who has experience dealing with magical wards or protecting others in battle have a better chance of succeeding. Davrin has experience protecting others, so I chose him for the perfect run, whereas Lucanus, as an assassin, doesn't use magic nor does he protect people, which is as bad of a choice as it gets.
Lucanus, I want you backing up the Veil Jumpers.
Consider it done.
The Venatori at that gate will be commanded by a war mage. That's how they usually operate.
If we get rid of the commander, the rest of the Venatori will scatter. Can the crows cut the head off the snake?
Contract accepted. We'll do what we have to.
There's gonna be a lot of guards between you and her. The Lords can clear you a path.
And one of us should be there as well.
Now the war mage at the gate is Aelia, who you can take down during Nev's final side missions, so she's only here because we didn't take her down. The perfect run has a faceless war mage replace her. When asked if the crows have what it takes to cut the head off the snake, there is less confidence. The crows and the Lords of Fortune can only offer weak support. One of your companions needs to be there to take down the war mage. Companions that have experience fighting mages or attacking by surprise do well. Now, you see why I occupied Lucanus and Harding. We pick Emmerich for this task, as he isn't a war mage and isn't exactly sneaky, especially with that glowing staff.
Lucanus, how'd you like to kill a Venatori mage?
It would be my pleasure.
Emmerich, you're with the crows.
Certainly.
One last thing might give the crows some trouble. There's a massive construct tall enough to crush buildings. It's guarding the main gate.
It's called a juggernaut. I've read about them. Giant siege constructs built to withstand an invasion.
I've heard rumors. A golem constructed of bone. Controlled, I'm afraid, by a traitorous Navaran necromancer.
We're gonna need our heaviest forces against that juggernaut. Evka, we're gonna need our heaviest forces against that giant bone golem. Evka.
The Grey Wardens have fought ogres and archdemons. We can handle this.
The Morn Watch will lend aid, but against something as large as this juggernaut, we'll require further assistance. Rook?
Wardens are the closest thing to an army we've got left. We'll do what we can.
The Morn Watch will lend its aid, but against my former colleague's undead monstrosity, we'll require further assistance. Rook?
Next we see the massive bone golem, massive bone, that you defeat during Emmerich's side missions. If you do defeat it, you'll fight a weaker construct instead. Bioware explains the construct and Emmerich explains the bone golem. Evka has different responses to both. The Mornwatch and the Grey Wardens can only offer weak support. Now we need to send a companion to take down the golem with the Wardens. Someone who's good at taking down big ugly enemies or constructs. Obviously Nev is best suited for this as she has a big ugly hat and takes down the construct of fashion daily. That leaves Davrin and Tash with Renegade Rook.
Nev, you're with the Wardens.
Got
Right.
it.
Davrin, Tash, you're with me. We make a run at the gate, get inside, and find Solus. The rest of you get to the Blight Tendril. Once we've got the dagger, we'll meet you there. And take the fight to Elganon. I believe in this team, in all of us. So let's get it done. We go on my signal. For a world free of the Blight!
We see Evka climbing the golem instead of Tarshia. This is because Nev isn't going to risk losing her hat, but she's replacing the Mornwatch vendor at the bottom, shooting an ice beam instead. Evka has much less success with the golem overall. There are different people fighting on the way to the gate. So our first loss is Strife. The Mornwatch vendor does a much better job deflecting the golem. This ultimately means that Nev is taking a long nap. So after a fair amount of cinematics, you're thrown into combat. I'm going to assume you know what happens. You fight for a bit and then the assassins catch up to the war mage.
No, no, no.
Well fought, Lucanis.
And there he is, the demon of Varantium.
At your service. They and I will return to the crows and help with the fight through the city. You go after Solus.
We spotted him. He's not far ahead. That way, quickly. The necromancer was a true hero. There will be time to mourn once the battle is over. I will take him and return to the crows. They will need support in fighting through Hightown. Go! Find Solas and get the dagger. He is there, not far ahead.
It doesn't go so well for Emmerich. There's some more fighting and Asher is taken out by tentacles.
Asher! Get out of my city! Asher!
Did we win?
You're lucky your head's so damn hard.
Tarquin, Viper, you're alive.
Thanks to Solus. He's been the only thing between us and Elganon.
Stay with them. I'm going to talk to Solus.
No! Damn it! We were gonna fix this city.
Tarquin, I am so sorry.
It should have been me. I didn't see it coming, and it should have been me.
Stay with Tarquin. I'm going to talk to Solus.
You are as surprising as ever. Even I could not have escaped that prison. For you to manage it.
Some more fighting and we finally arrive to what is the only correct choice we've made in the failure run, Balara as the Tentacle Queen.
You feel it? The light reacts to my presence. There. That must be the source of whatever intelligence guides it. If you can destroy the mind guiding the blight, we may be able to reach the palace. I can accompany you no further. My presence will only draw the blight to you. Once Elganon is mortal, the final blow must be yours. I can think of no one better to wield this.
Just make sure the Archdemon is dead by the time I get to Elganon.
Then this has been a day of surprises for us both. Good luck. When next we meet, let us be standing over Elganon's body!
He was all I could hear.
He had me. I was controlling the blight for him. It was all I could think about.
It's okay. You're free now.
You're free now.
You're safe.
You're safe.
None of us are
not
safe.
safe yet. Once Elganon is dead.
Wait,
no,
you can't kill Elganon
you can't
yet.
Kill Elganon
if you
yet.
do,
If you do,
look out!
Watch out!
Come on!
Quickly now! Destiny is a heavy burden to bear. And growing heavier by the moment.
You made it through.
You made it. Not alone.
Not my first
we
giant
also
monster.
brought the Inquisitor.
Apologies for missing the War Council. Not inside the city with the Veil Jumpers. It gave us a chance to finally strike back at the Venatori.
Whatever you did unblocked entrances to the Divine's Manor. It also destroyed some of the Blight.
It'll come back.
I
can still
feel it.
I don't think I'm the only mage he used
like this.
Nev,
Melara,
you're alive.
you survived.
Rook got me out.
freed me.
But I learned
things
in that
when
blight
I was in
eruption.
that blight
We need to
eruption.
talk.
We need to talk.
We will. But first, we need to get you to a healer.
We'll take care of her.
Thanks. I'll join you in a bit. Just want to check on everyone else coming in. While we still have time.
We now arrive at the checkpoint before the final battle. It's at this checkpoint that we can check on the dead, which just gives us a scene where we look at covered bodies of important people we have lost up to this point. We also talk to Morrigan and the Inquisitor before the final battle. I opt to skip talking to the remaining companions. Not much is really said. Davin mentions he wants to go and rescue the Griffin still, blah 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 blah. If you did the side content with Mythal, you get a special rune from Morrigan that helps you in the final fight. So we obviously don't get that. We then have to leave a force behind to cover your rear as you take on Elgane. I have far less choice here, and the forces defending the Divine's Manor have lost key leaders. Any companion helping is at grey risk, but one that has experience fighting frontline combat or sieges and are a hero of the Veilguard have a better chance of survival. Naturally this means Tash, as they're going to be the most used to being under fire. Wait, no, that's just on Twitter.
Tash, you up
They
for
need
it?
your strength.
Yep.
You got it.
We'll be cheering for you, Rook.
Good luck. My best.
So your army set up the barricades and Viper is missing from the pan. The Dragon King is facing us down instead of a regular Qunari leader. This is since you haven't beaten them in Tasha's missions. A fitting face-off. Since Strife is dead, it's Irulan firing off some magic here. Davin has no issue taking down the Qunari and protecting Morrigan. Tash though, gets crushed. I guess there is such a thing as a Dragon King. Morrigan beats him easy though. You do some more fighting on the way to the final confrontation. Balara has PTSD of her time with the tentacles.
Shit! Tentacle!
And then it's time to fight the final boss, Elganain. You're getting some good hits, but ultimately Balara realizes she can't resist her heritage.
Anyone could have, but you cannot deny the truth.
I can do this. I have to.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
Nev, without the same background, is able to escape the tentacles, whereas Balara doesn't. Now, while Elganain is mortal, you fight and take him out with the ritual dagger. No matter what you've done up to this point, Solus will betray you one final time.
It is done. The world owes you a debt, both for defeating Elganain and for bringing down the Veil. I am sorry for this final betrayal, but I will do what I can to minimize the damage. When you see the old world restored, please, Rook. I do not wish to fight against you.
If you've taken the bad path, you don't have an option here. If you've taken the good path, you have 3. Fight Solus, trick Solus, or redeem Solus. I find redemption the ultimate ending to his story and requires the most work, including convincing Mythal to help. So let's see what happens in the perfect ending.
I don't want to fight you either. But I don't want to see the world go through even more pain on top of what Elganain has done. Do you? This world is broken, Rook, because of my mistakes. This is why you had to use me to escape the prison. It's made from regrets, and you're trapped in yours. You cannot understand that destroying everything won't erase your mistakes. You have a chance right now to save the world. Bind yourself to the Veil and stop it from falling. I cannot. To stop now would dishonor those I have wronged to come this far.
Even if those you've wronged asked you to stop.
Inquisitor.
You were my friend. We saved the world together once. Can't we save it one more time?
Inquisitor, I am sorry. But I cannot. Long before we met, I failed my oldest friend. She died for that failure. If I leave the veil in place, I am destroying the world she wanted. And I will have... She will have died for nothing.
And whose fault is that, Dreadwolf?
Morrigan.
One appellation among many, I wear. I have been advisor to Orlais, Witch of the Wilds, daughter of Flemeth, and once, long ago, an old friend.
Mythal lives on in her, and in this. Mythal.
I pulled you from the Fade you loved and sent you into war. I used your wisdom as a weapon, and it broke you.
The things that I have done
are not for you alone to bear, my friend. The many wrongs we did together. I release you from my service.
You are free to find a better way.
My life force now sustains the veil. With every breath I take, I will protect the innocent from my past failures. The Titan's dreams are mad from their imprisonment. I cannot kill the Blight, but I can help to soothe its anger. I will go and seek atonement. Thanks to you, I now can see the way.
With Elgar'nan and Gillenane dead, and Solus off to fix his mistakes and right an ancient wrong, it looked like one of the biggest stories this world had ever seen was finally drawing to a close.
The story of the Veilguard, a team of heroes who stood strong against evil, no matter the cost.
Whatever it takes.
But whenever one story ends, another begins.
Like the story of the Grey Wardens, clearing the remains of the Blight so that the flowers can grow again.
Or the story of Arkandorian Parvus, fighting to bring Minrathous out from under Venatori rule.
Or the story of a caretaker, standing watch for new heroes.
For the Antivan Crows, it would be a story of liberation from invaders and usurpers alike, as Treviso threw off its shackles.
Among the Veil Jumpers, the fall of the last elven gods meant Arlathan was reborn.
At their heart, stories are about change.
A man seeing his ward become more than he could ever have imagined.
A woman protecting Docktown at all costs against an unknown future.
An assassin and a demon, pursuing justice for the sake of the future.
A student of history, helping the elves regain what they lost.
A dragon hunter, rediscovering their heritage from a place of strength.
Or the Griffins, finding a new home in Arlathan, protecting a world that once thought them lost for good.
There are stories of love.
But those stories aren't over. And we will always be grateful to those whose stories brought us where we are today. And those whose stories will live on with us forever.
The storm quelled. The sun dimmed. The wolf defanged. At last, we have balanced. Guided. Whispered. And soon, the poisoned fruit ripens. We come.
It's just beautiful. It gives the Dreadwolf the redemption he deserves. It sets him free, a perfect little bow to his arc, and a real reason why this game should have kept its name, Dragon Age the Dreadwolf. However, we still don't know what happens when you fail. What happens after you defeat Elgar'nan as Renegade Rook? Let's watch.
The veil's not coming down on my watch.
It is over. You could never stand against me alone. If you will excuse me, the final enchantments require a delicate touch. And you are alone now, truly.
have lost! Everyone! Everything! It is over!
Yeah, it is. Because it's not just my blood on that dagger.
No!
You were never ready to make the sacrifices that leadership requires.
Tis done. At far too high a price.
You were never ready to make the sacrifices that leadership requires. I did tell you it would come up again, but no, everyone on your team is dead, including poor Asan, who has been turned to stone. This was the only death I could come to terms with because at least now he can be a beautiful statue. Now, this ending doesn't happen in a perfect run. Instead, you battle Solus and overcome him through the power of friendship.
The Veil's not coming down on my watch. It is over. You can never stand against me alone. If you will excuse me, the final enchantments require a delicate touch. I am standing against you, and I am not alone. But you will be. The veil needs to be tied to the life force of an elven god. And now it is. Dread. You sneer at me as though you understand. You are mortal compared to you, to your infinitesimal existence. I am a god!
You can also trick him by switching the dagger, and instead of anger, you gain his respect at the end.
The Veil's not coming down on my watch. It is over. You could never stand against me alone.
If you will excuse me, the final enchantments require a delicate touch.
A delicate touch? You kill Varric, stab me in the back. You're about to drown the world in demons. How are you any different from Elganon, trying to impose your will on all of us?
Elganon would have seized his victory by force. You were not crushed by the power of the Dread Wolf. You were bested fairly, by wits alone.
Dagger was a fake. Here's the real one. And now the veil is once again tied to the life force of an elven god.
Bested fairly by wits alone. I taught you well.
Varric taught me well, and you killed him.
You think yourself capable of judging me? I have faced things you could not possibly comprehend. You are a mortal! A mortal! And I am... I am a fool who finally met his match.
So, 3 different endings, one for those who hate Solus, one for those who see him as a worthy opponent, and one for those who wanted to redeem him. Seeing how you can fail makes this all the more perfect.